Welcome once again. Hello students. Hope you all are doing good and you might have enjoyed well your holidays. Now let's come back to our studies and take our studies seriously. Okay. So I am here with your biology class. We will begin our biology class in a few minutes. And let me tell you that before the holidays we had completed 2 chapters, right? And today we will start the chapter 3, that is the ecosystem. Okay, and this is video part 1. Okay, so we'll study the chapter ecosystem with the first part. So let's discuss what all things are there in your syllabus. Now let us understand the term ecosystem, right? So children, ecosystem, you see, when we study about our environment, the living beings, the non-living beings, whatever things dwell in and around the surroundings, so we'll all study together as, okay, a part of ecosystem. So let me tell you, the environment of living being or a group of living beings means all the non-living things and the living things surrounding it or by them. So another term used to describe the surrounding of an organism is habitat. So what is habitat? Habitat is the place where an organism lives, okay, with all the characteristics of the place, like the climate, the soil, and the types of plants and animals. So an organism may live in a forest habitat, a marine habitat, a desert habitat, or so on. So this is what the ecosystem. So it consists of a family which in both the living as well as the non-living thing exist, okay, around us. So the members of the community of living beings in a great area interact with each other and the non-living components of the area to form a self-sustaining system that is known as ecosystem. So once again, what is ecosystem? The interaction of a living being with the non-living things, okay, and the living things with the non-living things. So this is all the interaction. So this is called the ecosystem. And since they interact with each other, okay, so the study of the ecosystem is called ecology. So what is ecology? Like other branches of science and all, like where we study about the like the world of animals, the world of plants. So similarly, when we study about the ecosystem, so that branch is known as ecology. Let's move further. Now when we have understood the ecosystem, now let us learn more about the components of an ecosystem. Components means the parts, how to describe the ecosystem in different categories. So ecosystem may be small or large, okay, and can be of two main types. So the first one is the aquatic ecosystem and the second one is terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic means the life that dwells in the water, okay, and terrestrial, that is the land, okay. So if the ecosystem exists in water body such as an ocean, lake, or even a puddle, it is said to be an aquatic ecosystem. Whereas those that exist on land are called terrestrial ecosystem. Understood? So these are the two categories of the ecosystem. Now let me tell you what is aquatic. So aquatic ecosystem is again further divided into two types, right? Because the water bodies can be fresh water, can be marine. So the aquatic ecosystem is divided into two categories, two types. One is the freshwater ecosystem and the other is marine ecosystem. Now terrestrial ecosystem, what is it? It is also of various types such as grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, mountain ecosystem, and desert ecosystem, okay. Now the different areas of the earth have different ecosystem that are connected to each other. Now several connected ecosystems in a large area of land or sea together forms a biome. Now biome is another term defined here. So what is it? Like there are so many ecosystems, no? So they are all connected in a large area of land or maybe sea. So all together they form a biome, and each biome is defined by the climate and the soil of the region and is inhabited by plants and animals that are adapted for survival in that particular environment, okay. Next is the biotic component. So since we have already started the different components of ecosystem, so let us begin with the biotic component, okay. So biotic means the living, Okay, so biotic and the abiotic. Already we have started these two components. So the living and non-living components of an ecosystem is divided into two. Like the living is the biotic and the non-living is the abiotic. Okay, so the non-living part of an ecosystem, such as light, temperature, water, air and soil, constitutes its abiotic part. Okay, whereas all living organisms including plants, animals and microorganisms make up its biotic component. Biotic components can be divided into three groups, such as the producers, the consumers and the decomposers. So understood? So biotic component is divided into three categories. The living part, that is the biotic community. Okay, it is in the form of producers, it is also in the form of consumers and also the decomposers. Now you can see here in the figure, we can see here the biosphere, the living world. Okay, further we can see the atmospheric part, the lithosphere part and the hydrosphere part. Okay, so these are the different the components of the ecosystem. Now, next is the producers. Okay, so since producers, okay, you might have already studied in your primary classes and all. Earlier you might have studied that who are the producers. Okay, so producers are the green plants. They are called the producers because they can manufacture their food through photosynthesis. Why? Because they perform the process of making food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so they make their food themselves. They are not dependent on any other, but to certain things they are dependent. Okay, like they utilize the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, the water from the soil, and then they have the chlorophyll, and also they use the sunlight from the atmosphere. So these all the raw materials together, they make they make the food. They prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Now all animals and non-green plants and some microorganisms depends directly or indirectly upon green plants for food. Blue-green algae and cyanobacteria also manufacture their own food, and they are also known as producers. So producers are also called the autotrophs. Okay, now let us learn about the consumers. So that was the first part, producers. Now here comes the consumers. Consumers, see, like those who consume, okay, those who utilize. So all animals, non-green plants and microorganisms that depend directly or indirectly upon the producers for food are called consumers. They are also called heterotrophs. Okay, they can be divided into herbivores, carnivores, omnivores and scavengers. Hope you all know these terms, no? Like who are herbivores? Who feed on the like green plants and all. Okay, the herbs. So they are the herbivores. Okay, carnivores, flesh eating animals, omnivores, both plants as well as animals, and scavengers, like those who feed on the dead remains and other things. Okay, so cows, sheep, goats, deer, then fruit and seed eating birds, butterflies, they are all primary consumers. Then comes the lions, the tigers and the large fish which can eat primary consumers are called secondary consumers, and all those that eat secondary consumers are called tertiary consumers. Okay, now let us move to the diagram. You can see on the screen it is displayed, the producers and consumers in a diagram. See, you from the base you can start. You can see the green plants here, the tiny grasses and all green colored, they are producers. Then on the producers, who all are dependent? The primary consumers. On the primary consumers, the dependents are the secondary consumers, and on the secondary consumers, the tertiary consumers, and in this way the energy flows. Okay, now let us come to the decomposers. So the decomposers, like the microorganisms. Microorganisms means the tiny small organisms that are seen with the help of microscope, like the bacteria, the fungus, the protozoans and other worms that live in the soil. So they are known as the decomposers. Okay, so they break down organic matter and draw nutrition from it. They not only keep the soil fertile by releasing minerals into it, but also clean up the environment. So indirectly they are also said to be as the cleaners of the environment. Why? Because they release the minerals and also they clean up the environment. Okay, and they also break down the organic matter into useful material and mix in the soil, and then they draw the nutrition from it. Now, they cannot break down all the substances. Please remember, please make sure that they cannot break down all the substances. Only the parts which are decomposed, which can be broken down. Okay, so those that they can break down are called biodegradable, whereas those that cannot be broken down by decomposers, they are known as non-biodegradable substances. Understood? So these are the two categories of the substances which can be consumed by the bacteria, the decomposers. Okay, one which is broken down, that is the biodegradable. Which are not broken down, they are non-biodegradable substances. Okay, now let's come to the abiotic component. So what all things we discussed so far till now, they were all about the living part, the living component, the biotic component. Now let us learn about the abiotic component, that is the non-living part. Okay, now in biology and ecology, abiotic components, abiotic factors are non-living chemical and physical part of the environment that affect living organisms and the functioning of the ecosystem. Okay, now like the abiotic components, they include physical conditions and the non-living resources that affect living organisms in terms of growth, maintenance, reproduction. Resources are distinguished as substances or objects in the environment required by one organism and consumed or otherwise made unavailable for use by other organisms. Okay, so in biology, abiotic factors include water, light, radiation, temperature, humidity, atmosphere, and soil. So these are all the non-living factors, okay, of the environment. Now, in short, abiotic factors are non-living components found in an ecosystem which influence the living things. Means directly or indirectly we are dependent upon these things. Okay, so here the interaction between the living and the non-living. So this is what the ecosystem. Okay, now you can see here the abiotic factors on the screen. The figure is displayed here. So these are the non-living components of the ecosystem. We can see the wind, can be the water, the sunlight, the atmosphere, the temperature, and the soil. So these are all the abiotic factors. Okay, so we'll end the session here, and we'll discuss more about it, okay, in the next part. So thank you. When we end this session here, and if you have any queries, you can contact me. Okay, so till then, keep yourself healthy and safe.